the um, the more angle you put on this for an alternate pose, the more deformations you're going to get that you're not going to like when it's put back to where it belongs. So let's see what we can do. I'll repeat what you have here, which it looks like, I guess, 30 degrees. Um, and to get rid of all this junk, I'm just going to convert the Avastar rig. You don't have to do this because I already tested it and it works alright. I will pose. Oh, here we go with this lock interface. Nope, that's not what I want. Edit. Lock object modes. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. 30 degrees. So on what axis? Local. On the Z 30. Yeah, that's the wrong direction. Z negative 30 and Z 30. And I'm just going to make a pose for this so I don't lose it. Make sure this is at the start frame, rotation, and just key the pose. I'll export this just as an example. You already have it here, but I'll show how this is supposed to be done. Just export the OBJ using Blender, no big deal. Export. Can barely see here. OBJ. Go over to test material, I guess. And make sure you apply transforms. Apply modifiers, rather. So there's a thing up here somewhere. It's already set. Oh, I need to do selected export OBJ selection only export MD Angel Buddy. Okay, good. Now I'm going to go over here and just delete the body. Just add an avatar. Let's go to where are we going? Bento Buddy, test material, OBJ. Okay, it's usually meters. Say add so we don't delete the stuff in the scene. Okay, and it should match. And not quite. I'm not sure why, but we can redrape that. Is this segmented? Is there like a... Yeah, good. Just pull that forward a little bit. And I can redrape it. So, if you made your outfit, this is already pre-made from the person that requested the information. So I didn't have to make an outfit for testing. You just drape it in that same angle. Export your material, of course. Export OBJ selected. And where are we going to put it? Let's see. I'll put it in this folder here and call it what? DEVness Angel bodysuit. single object. May as well weld it. Thin, yes. Define UVs is fine. Meters always for Blender. And what else do we got? I think that's it. Let's go back over to Blender. Alright. Yeah, just pull it in. Import the OBJ file. And I will go to where I deposited it. Bodysuit right there. Don't click on the MTL. People do that often and then nothing shows up. Okay, so now it matches. But the actual rig is not in this pose, and we don't want to create a rest pose for it. Bento Buddy has a tool that will skin this and then put it back in the pose that it belongs in. Now there's another way to do this, and it's actually a better way, but this is just a quick way to get things done. And unfortunately, because the angle is so steep, this isn't going to turn out well, probably. And if it were lower poly, and if the polygons were more even, this might actually work better. It's not a good representation of topology, but we'll get this done anyway. And you go over to the skinning and weights, make sure skin pose is on, lock the mesh, and then we go to the body. That's the weight source, and if it looks like they're separate, they might give us a problem. Lock the weight source. Alright, and then we transfer the weights. Yeah. Now you'll see that there's an issue here. You can manually fix that. You can do some pulling and stuff, but the pose is not frozen. For instance, if I select all the bones and Alt-R to reset, you'll see that it's where it belongs. And you'll also notice that in object mode, I'll select the bodysuit, and if I go into edit mode, you'll see that it doesn't spread the legs. So it reconditioned the mesh to be in the proper pose, but without any weight issues. Except, because the topology and the steep angle, you'll have some stuff to deal with there. And you can do that here, I guess, and just do like, I don't know, edit, grab, over here in your armature modifier, you'll tell it to assume the same pose here, and you just grab like some verts or something and start pulling on them. You'll need to figure out how to use that tool to adjust that. That's all there is. And I forgot to show how to export the mesh. So you can export it in this pose. It doesn't matter, but I'm just gonna reset it anyway. If I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's an Alt-R, right? Yeah, I'll just get rid of the pose. Clear it. You don't have to do that, but I'm just showing extra stuff on how you can do things. Mesh export, I saved the preset, so you want to load the preset associated with it, DEVness, and it's going to be, let me drop my presets in here so you can see what you'll actually see. I'm going to have to pause this video. Give me a moment. I just realized that I'm using a different version of Blender, so I'll go into the version that I usually store my presets in. But I did have to copy them over there. Buddy, DevKit. And I made a folder for it because there are other bodies that we'll probably process later on. This is the first one we did. load that preset, and then you're ready. Just select the make sure anything is selected. You can select the rig, you can select the skin mesh when you load the preset, but the preset gets loaded onto the rig itself, and there has to be an association, so you have to make sure that you skin it first, or you can just load it right into the rig. If you save it now, you never have to load this preset again. You can always just skin to that and export like so, and then I'll show you what it looks like in Second Life. I goofed that up. I had the body selected instead of the body suit. Alright, do that again. And here we go. I'm going to lower both of these LODs on the bottom, but you probably just want to do the bottom one lowest. Calculate weights and fees. Upload that. Pretty hefty model. Okay. And it should just except for here, like I told you before, you have to do some work there. And the legs, some smoothing as well, I guess. But there it is. It fits.